Hello, I've been thinking about art as a stream of consciousness, because art can be used to illustrate things, to present a clear message to the viewer, or sometimes it can be used for something more complicated. So I'm going to take you by the hand and talk you through the thoughts that were on my mind when I painted this picture, Keep in Line. So to start with, I was given the topic swim. So the first thing I did was I drew a swimming pool. And then I remembered that in the swimming pool, when I go swimming, there's a notice on the wall telling you which way to swim round the pool. And I remembered that because nobody took any notice of the notice and generally just went up and down. So I put the notice up on the wall in the picture. And then I just let my mind wander, swimming up and down, because that's what people do in pools. And then I started to think that the blue of the water and the yellow of the surrounds made me think about the war in the Ukraine and the Ukrainian flag. And I thought to myself, this is telling me something. And as soon as I started thinking about war, I started thinking about really dark thoughts, and that's why the swirly dark bit appeared round the edge. And when I came to paint the details, I thought, and if they're not doing what everybody else is doing, they'll end up with a collision, which I started to think could be a collision where people got hurt, but sometimes when people collide, it's a kiss. I was thinking more about fighting and how armies become so regulated. So I put these people here on the left pointing, and maybe people who can't bear to watch other people being hurt as well. And so I drew those people on the far side, on the blue side of the picture. And I remembered in the swimming pool there's always a supervisor sitting there watching. They tell you to swim up and down, and she's crouching down and she's leaning forward, or is she sitting there and meditating and watching what's happening? I wasn't sure, but she seems a calming, balanced presence. And while I'm thinking about regulation, there's boxes and boxes round the swimming pool like tiles, because that thinking about armies and fighting and regulation and harm, that made me think about that. And on the far side is things are a bit more higgledy-piggledy, and the blue side of the picture, the tiles start to be more organic things, and both of these affect people. And what's needed is a balance. And the supervisor's sitting at one end of a bench, which also makes me think of a train track. And she's sitting at one end of the bench, and at the far side is an older person with their head down, crouched, trying to avoid the collisions and the crashes and the explosions. And I think that the balanced person and the older person are trying to get some understanding why people fight, why people regulate other people, and how the joy of living is sometimes constrained by the need to regulate your behaviour to consider other people. That's the picture. I called it Keep in Line. Thank you for watching. I hope this made you think. It certainly made me think and made me feel more able to deal with what's happening in the world. This was a painting done for the Armchair Painting Group.